Part 189. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 1881. Tai-Shuqian, the godson of the Temple of the Light Alliance, waved his hand as he spoke, and continued to give orders without haste. He felt that the situation was almost the same now, and indeed it was time for the final battle. Tai-Shuqian thought in this way, and couldn't help looking at the battle between Genji Shenzong and Akabane Kingdom in the distance. I saw that their fierce battle had been completely escalated. After countless bloody conflicts, they now seemed to be in an endless relationship. These practitioners of Genji Shenzong are really stupid. They actually handed over the command to Huangfu Sui. If I followed the vassals in my Temple of Light Alliance back then, why would I cause so much trouble? It's fine now, the situation has completely collapsed, just follow the calf. As Tai-Shuqian was talking, he couldn't help but make complaints one after another. The current situation should not be too complicated. Before the entire King Chu King's capital, it was completely messed up. At this time, no one would choose to attack the city wall of King Chu's capital. Queen Natasha stood on the tower of the royal capital, looking a little depressed. The ground below was all in one piece, but the battle on the wall of King Chu's capital suddenly stopped, which made people feel strange and inexplicable. Come on. Gather 100,000 elite soldiers, and I'm going to help Prince Fang Fan. Queen Natasha yelled, and immediately appeared decisive. Her Majesty, now, the situation is still unclear, so we just dispatched the main force. What if the enemy comes to counterattack? At that time, the guards of our capital will not be able to defend at all. And the battlefield below is really too chaotic. If you are not careful, everything will collapse. I think it should be more stable. All the generals of the Chiyu Kingdom focused their eyes on this, and while they were talking at the moment, the expressions on their faces were extremely sincere. From their point of view, the capital of the Chu Kingdom is naturally more critical. They make this their best focus. Prince Fang Fan went out of the city to fight bloody battles to defend our Chiyu Kingdom. Outside the city, there are tens of thousands of Pao Zi and brothers in our Chiyu Kingdom. The situation is changing now. The enemy army wants to block Prince Fang Fan from both ends, and wants to put him to death. How can I just sit idly by? If something really happened to Prince Fang Fan, do you think you can stabilize the situation with your strength? At that time, the enemy's army of millions will attack the capital of King Chu. What shall we do to resist? As Queen Natasha spoke, a look of determination appeared on her face. Whether King Chu can hold on, the key lies in Fang Fan. If Fang Fan is victorious, the overall victory is complete. If Fang Fan is defeated, the Chu Kingdom will perish. After Queen Natasha finished speaking, everyone fell silent. They really want to refute, but at the same time they have to admit that all this is true. They really don't have the ability to guard the capital of the entire Chiyu Kingdom. There is only one who controls the overall situation, Fang Fan. The killing on the battlefield became more and more stalemate, and the scene of the fighting was shocking and horrifying. Luo Hu used the exclusive skill of the Blood Shura Legion Sura Unity, and successfully gathered the power of the 7 Blood Shuras together, allowing their strength to temporarily break through the limit. From the original low-level quasi-sacred combat power to the high-level quasi-sacred combat power. The invincible combat power is here, sweeping everything. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 1882. Among a group of low-level quasi-sages whose strongest combat power is only low-level quasi-sages, high-level quasi-sages, are the supreme gods. Stabbing all the way, obliterating everything. Immediately, the situation was completely stabilized. King Cassius of the unguarded Tian Kingdom was rescued. The goal of this battle has been achieved. At this moment, the troops from the Temple of the Alliance of Light and the Kingdom of Pure Sun have been dispatched to completely block the retreat of Fang Fan and the others. If they want to return to the capital of Shu Kingdom, they must kill them completely. Fang Fan took a deep breath, all kinds of thoughts were churning in his mind, his eyes became sharper and sharper. The feeling at this moment is particularly real. Many, thank you benefactor. The benefactor should be, the newly married Prince Natasha, right? Who, thank you benefactor for saving, Cassius will never repay you. I just need my benefactor to give me a happy, I am in too much pain. Ah! Cassius, king of the Tian kingdom, had both legs severed by Qi Zhen at this moment, leaving only one upper body remaining. He felt that life was hopeless, and felt that the rest of his life would be grey. His legs are gone, and he will be a cripple from now on. Moreover, the wounds of his legs were deliberately smeared with salt, and the pain seemed more real at this moment. Thinking of this, the desire of the king of the Tian kingdom, Cassius, to die became even stronger. You will not die, you will live well. You will lead the kingdom of Tian and the kingdom of Shu to join forces to defeat these enemies. Fang Fan stepped forward, patted King Cassius on the shoulder, and handed over a quasi-saint level healing card. Use this card, you will be reborn. As Fang Fan spoke, he felt full of confidence. Get a new life. No. Impossible. My life has already come to an end. This card will not be a problem, right? Hey, forget it, I am a person who wants to die, what am I afraid of? I hope this thing is a deadly poison, so that I won't have so many troubles. Cassius, the king of Tian kingdom, sighed softly, and then silently put the quasi-saint healing card in his heart, and then Fang Fan directly activated it for him. Immediately afterwards, a docile white light gradually surrounded King Cassius of the Tian kingdom. The wounds he suffered from the war are gradually healing. What's even more amazing is that his legs are also gradually growing out, his white and tender legs are dangling naked outside, looking quite eye-catching. How could this be? I must be dreaming. My legs are back. My wounds are all healed. Is this what it feels like to be a new student? Hey, if it wasn't for the dream. It's all a nightmare. King Cassius shook his head quickly while talking, he felt that this was the feeling of a dream, it was too unreal. True and false. Sometimes it's hard to tell the truth from the fake. Snapped. Fang Fan looked at the mother-in-law of King Cassius, and slapped him directly on the head. The severe pain made King Cassius's eyes widen instantly, and he just stared at Fang Fan, as if he was asking why he was hit on the head. But in an instant, the face of King Cassius was full of surprise. This is not a dream. All of this is true. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1883. My legs, here. Totally healed. My legs grew out on their own. I'm no longer a cripple. This. Prince Fang Fan, you saved me. Prince Fang Fan, you saved me. Thank you, you are my reborn parents. King Cassius of the Tian kingdom suddenly burst into tears. While talking, his body trembled unnaturally, all kinds of feelings exploded in his mind, and he was completely excited at this moment. Cassius, the king of the Tian kingdom, thanked Fang Fan while looking at Fang Fan with a deep expression. The corners of his mouth twitched more and more, and all kinds of thoughts exploded in his mind. This feeling is very real. It can be imagined how exciting it would be for him to have both legs suddenly recovered. In other words, it brought him an extremely strong sense of self-confidence. His desire to survive, revived again. No longer as before, indifferent to life and death, maintaining a pessimistic attitude towards everything. Now it's completely changed. Everything has changed. Prince Fang Fan, Prince Fang Fan. King Cassius firmly grasped Fang Fan's arm, and it is difficult to express his gratitude in words at this moment. Fang Fan sighed softly, then patted King Cassius on the shoulder, signaling him to calm down. King Cassius, it's not too late to say thank you later. Now we are in danger, we still have to hang on. There are chasing soldiers before and killing soldiers, at least you have to save your own life first. Fang Fan patted his forehead, and then said with emotion from the side. Yes, that's the reason. It was me, Meng Lang, just now. Prince Fang Fan, please don't pay attention. Huh, yes. We are going to rush out now. It's too dangerous to stay here. Cassius frowned more and more as he spoke. As the king of a country, his military ability is not bad, so he can clearly see the changes in the current situation, and he can also make certain choices. All soldiers of the Tian Kingdom, from now on, fully obey Prince Fang Fan's orders. The orders Prince Fang Fan gave to you are my orders to you. Anyone who dares to disobey, military law punishment. King Cassius gave Fang Fan all the military power of tens of thousands of troops in Tian Kingdom. He thinks that his military ability is far from that of Fang Fan. In this dangerous situation now, only by relying on Fang Fan can he gain a chance of life, otherwise it is the road to death. Thinking of this, King Cassius' eyes became sharper, and the feeling deep in his heart at this moment became more real. Fang Fan nodded secretly, feeling very satisfied with King Cassius's behavior of offering peaches and plums. The reason why he took the risk to save Cassius is that the ultimate goal is actually the tens of thousands of troops of the Tian Kingdom. King Chiyu lacked enough defenders in the capital. If he could win over tens of thousands of troops from the Tian Kingdom, it would not only increase his own strength, but also reduce the opponent's combat power to a certain extent. It can be said that kill two birds with one stone. Now King Cassius surrendered his military power consciously, so that Fang Fan would not have to ask for it again. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1884. With an existence like this, the mind is more flexible, and the mannerisms are more satisfactory. As Fang Fan thought to himself, the smiles on the corners of his mouth became more and more frequent. But the current situation is not as optimistic as expected. There are hundreds of thousands of remnants of the Dark Temple ahead. Nearly 400,000 reinforcements from the Temple of the Alliance of Light and King Chunyang are blocking in the rear. It's really not that simple for Fang Fan to escape from such a hunt. It can even be said that it is very difficult. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, and the sharp rays of light flickered in his eyes. The Tian Kingdom army is responsible for guarding the left and right sides. The tens of thousands of elites from the Chu Kingdom are rushing forward with me. We must fight a bloody path, and rush out. Fang Fan shouted coldly, and the order was issued directly to the end. At this moment, the thoughts in my heart gradually boiled, and my eyes gradually became extremely sincere. If you continue to fall into the encirclement, you may be made dumplings in a short time. At that time, if you want to escape again, then it will really be too late. Before the situation becomes so bad, let's hang on for a while, but there is still a chance. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, thinking to himself. The expression on his face gradually became solemn and serious. Top 10 legions, charge with me. Bales, lead the remaining low heavy machine artillery in charge of fire support. Rahu, the Blood Shura Legion breaks out ahead. Guan Hai, the Yellow Turban Typing Warlock Legion each use a supply card, and then hold on for another wave, cast Curse and Corrosion to reduce the enemy's combat power. A series of military orders were issued by Fang Fan, and Fang Fan himself rode on the back of the little golden dragon and rushed out. Although with the help of tens of thousands of soldiers from the Tian Kingdom, the situation on the battlefield is still very pessimistic, because the enemy's reinforcements are rushing towards them continuously. The coalition forces of the Temple of the Alliance of Light and the Kingdom of Pure Sun are nearly 400,000 troops, once the back road and exits are blocked, plus the hundreds of thousands of practitioners from the Temple of Darkness defending to the death at this moment. The scene once seemed horrifying. A little carelessness, all collapsed. One can imagine the seriousness of the situation. Fang Fan, you must die. He, you dare to go against me, God's son, you are so tired of living. I'm going to kill you completely. Dare to save Cassius in the hands of the Son of God, so what if you rescued him? You can only die together. Your death is already doomed. You will definitely die. Die. Go die. The murderous intent was concentrated, and everything became extremely frightening. Haishan, the son of the god of darkness temple, opened his bloody mouth and was completely released. Just now, he was suppressed by Fang Fan time and time again, and in the end he almost lost control of the practitioners in the Dark Temple. Not only that, but at this moment the king of Tian Kingdom, Cassius, was also rescued, so the chance is completely slim. Everything in front of me will be completely ended. It is not very embarrassing. Originally, he should be the biggest winner. He is in charge of more than 300,000 elite practitioners in the Dark Temple, plus a 200,000 army of the Tian Kingdom obeys him. He is the most powerful existence in the field. But now, it's all over. It's over. For him, the road ahead has even become bleak. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 1885. So what if all the cultivators and troops from Fang Fan, Chiyu Kingdom, and even Tian Kingdom were beheaded? He can't get the biggest piece of cake either. After many changes, Tai Shuqian, the godson of the current Alliance of Light Camp, has controlled the most powerful force. Once he really found the fruit of God, he must be the one who took the big head. Where the strength lies, even if he is dissatisfied at that time, so what? Can he still fight to the end? The point is, what is he fighting against? Thinking of this, He Tian, the godson of the Dark Temple, became increasingly ugly. He blamed Fang Fan for all this. It was Fang Fan who caused these messy situations to happen. The murderous intent was concentrated, and everything was settled. Fang Fan took a deep breath, seeing the encirclement getting smaller and smaller, his brows furrowed silently. The power of Vega's group dark magic is indeed powerful, but it is only a one-time attack. After the attack is completed, even if the supply card is used to replenish energy, it will take a very long time to prepare for the next wave of full-scale attack. As for the special warlock skills of the Yellow Turban typing Warlock Legion, they are indeed unpredictable, but the scope they can cover is limited. If the enemy can really have the heart to use thousands or even tens of thousands of people as a shield, the Yellow Turban Peace Warlock Corps will be helpless. The overall situation is paralyzed. According to the current situation, it will only get worse and worse. Originally, most of the 30,000 Shu Kingdom elites I brought out were damaged, but now only about 10,000 are left. The Tian Kingdom's army, which was about 150,000 at the beginning, has now been reduced to 120,000. And the speed of the reduction is getting faster and faster. If this trend continues, it won't last long. Fang Fan's frowning gesture seemed very real. If I don't care about the tens of thousands of troops of the Chu Kingdom and the Tian Kingdom, I can fight a bloody way out with the 10 legions and the heroes. But this is equivalent to burying the remaining 10,000 elite troops of the Chiyu Kingdom and the 120,000 troops of the Tian Kingdom in the hands of the enemy, and becoming the biggest fat in their mouths. If this is the case, those previous actions would seem meaningless, and even, there was some sarcasm. The purpose of this battle is to win over the Tian Kingdom's support, but if they are completely abandoned, not only will the support never be obtained, but the 30,000 elite soldiers of the Chu Kingdom will also be ruined. Fang Fan's eyes flickered with anger. Sometimes the crowd tactics really make the scalp tingle. Feeling like this silently is also a mental riot. My lord, we have already used several supply cards. If we continue to coerce here, we will reach the limit of our use of supply cards. By then we will really be exhausted. Galen rushed forward, with a more or less serious expression on his face. The current situation is indeed worse. At this moment, Vega's dark magic is about to be ready again, but Vega alone cannot control the overall situation. If there are 10 Vega working together, maybe there is still a chance. Fang Fan sighed softly, and couldn't help thinking of Xiaoxio's exclusive army, Dark Little Mage Army. This army of little dark mages is a full copy of Vega's dark magic skills. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1886. It's just a pity that since Xiao Xiao fell into a coma, her exclusive Dark Mage army has naturally fallen into silence. Otherwise, these little dark mages would be extremely strong together. Fang Fan. Let's get caught. Anyway, you are also a member of my Temple of the Light Alliance. Submit to me and hand over the fruit of God. This Son of God can make you my servant. I bestow you with supreme glory. Tai Shuqian, the godson of the Temple of the Alliance of Light, was talking and then walked over with an arrogant face. The arrogance on his face was beyond words, and it was very real. I have to admit that you are really good, but so what? In the face of real strength, your so-called cleverness is simply vulnerable. If you don't hold back at this moment, you can capture them. Kill them all immediately. The expression on Tai Shuqian's face became sharper and sharper. Fang Fan secretly squinted his eyes, glanced at the direction of Tai Shuqian, the son of the god of the Alliance of Light, and then his body protruded directly, with an aura of comprehension and killing intent. It seems to be able to completely kill everything in front of you. Capture the thief first and capture the king. It is still the same strategy as before. When Fang Fan's body rushed towards him, the face of Tai Shuqian, the son of the Temple of the Light Alliance, suddenly showed shock. The appearance of Fang Fan defeating He Tian, the godson of the Dark Temple, is still vivid in his memory, which will more or less bring him a sense of horror, even fear. Compared with He Tian, the son of the Dark Temple, I don't have any advantage, and even, my combat power is a little worse than him. Fang Fan can defeat him with one move, then he is very likely to kill me directly. No. No. Absolutely can't confront him head on, I don't want to die. Haishan, the son of the Dark Temple, took a deep breath, and as he spoke, his lips trembled, all kinds of feelings roiled in his mind, and then he ran away. Fang Fan hit the air with his sword, but the cultivators who killed 2 low-level quasi-sacred fighters in the Dark Temple became scapegoats. Fang Fan stood where Tai Shuqian had been standing in the Temple of the Alliance of Light. Seeing how this Tai Shuqian was desperately running away, he felt a little funny for no reason. Can you be normal? With the appearance and posture of this iron-headed baby, Fang Fan really didn't know what to say. It can only be said that this guy really looks a bit cowardly. That's it? You want to recruit me as a follower? Where's the face? Fang Fan curled his lips, casually waved the Zhantian sword in his hand, and then said in a half-spoofing way. At this moment, the cultivators of the Temple of the Alliance of Light are more or less blushing. It's embarrassing. Seeing the cowardly look of their boss, they are also dull. Damn, these so-called sons of gods, all of them are so virtuous, I'm sick of it. Just this group of people, why should they be God's sons? Why can they still lead us? Why should we follow their orders so foolishly? Acting. Are we stupid? Or is there something wrong with our brains? Where did all this nonsense come from? If you have the ability, you can say it in front of God's son Taishukian. Saying this now is completely nonsense and meaningless. Anyway, I'm just upset. If you want me to say, Fang Fan's acting red-clothed archbishop is also the proud son of our Light Alliance temple. It is said that he is still a believer in God, he is highly valued by Dongguo saints, the key is himself, the combat power is still invincible. Why don't you go to this one? Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1887. Because of the resolute escape of the Grand Uncle Kyan from the Temple of the Light Alliance, the situation immediately collapsed, and the situation also became strange. These cultivators of the Temple of the Alliance of Light are also full of momentum at this moment, and they can't wait to complain directly to the end. This feeling of aggrieved increased in their minds, and they were already overwhelmed. Followed by a cowardly leader, more or less depressing. It's not like Taishukian, the godson of the Temple of the Light Alliance who has fled for a long time, can't feel the contempt and complaints from these people. At this moment, his face turns green and pale. Isn't this just a slap in the face? The feeling of slapping the face is not so good, the face becomes painful. But if you can get to this level, you will definitely not be able to lose face. The thief Fang Fan actually used the dark secret method of stealing souls on me. Fortunately, I avoided his attack successfully. Brothers and sisters of the Temple of the Alliance of Light. Everyone, be careful of Fang Fan's tricks, and don't fall for his tricks, be careful. God son of the Temple of the Alliance of Light roared, shouting excitedly, his emotions seemed extremely high. Telling too many lies, maybe I will believe it. It's probably in this weird state right now. Although all the cultivators in the Temple of the Light Alliance are well aware of Taishukian's hypocrisy, they will not show it directly at this time, but gradually show some smiles on their faces. When the false is true, the true is also false, only when the false is true. Fang Fan frowned to take care of the overall situation, then sighed softly. Although he expressed contempt for this Taishukian's behavior, he had to admit that from this guy's point of view, this was actually the best choice. If he doesn't choose this way, he is actually on the verge of collapse. Once Fang Fan seizes the opportunity to kill him or capture him, the cultivators of the Temple of the Light Alliance will definitely be wary, and even the army of the Pure Yang Kingdom don't dare to make any changes. These are the substantive situations that need to be paid attention to now. Now this Taishukian chooses to run away with his life. Although he really can't hold back his face, he seems to be more witty to a certain extent, at least he can stabilize the overall situation. Master, make up your mind. The enemy's offensive is still so fierce. With the large armies of the Chu Kingdom and the Tian Kingdom, we will not be able to rush out at all, unless we can kill all the practitioners from the Dark Camp and the Light Alliance camp, but it will take too much time, too much. There are many, the changes in the situation, beyond our imagination. My lord, we can only evacuate alone now. Galen gritted his teeth, and then rushed over, with a particularly helpless expression on his face. The current situation is like this, no matter how dissatisfied he is in his heart, he can only accept it selectively. Fang Fan's face was gloomy, and he glanced into the distance, then his eyes lit up. Natasha, here. Fang Fan muttered to himself, and the dull look on his face disappeared instantly, replaced by a trace of joy. Fang Fan boy, that little girl Natasha actually brought 100,000 troops out of the city to rescue you. You are really lucky, boy. There are so many beauties who will sell their lives and die for you no matter where you are. As Bai Piao spoke, his expression gradually became lemonade. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1888. Fang Fan sighed silently, this damn charm. Sometimes the charm is too strong, and it is also a kind of heavy pressure. Beauty is the hardest thing to bear, sometimes it is. Queen Natasha rushing out now is actually taking a huge risk. If she is not careful, the situation will completely change. In the beginning, there were only 250,000 elite soldiers in the capital of the Chu kingdom, but tens of thousands were consumed in the battle, 30,000 were brought out by Fang Fan, and now 100,000 were brought out by Queen Natasha. Now there are less than 100,000 soldiers in the city, you can imagine how empty it is. If the enemy army can dispatch 200,000 troops to attack at this time, it is very likely to break through directly. Fang Fan glanced in Queen Natasha's direction, then nodded solemnly, expressing his appreciation. A 100,000 army from the Chu kingdom suddenly came out to disrupt the situation, making the practitioners of the Temple of the Light Alliance, who were already dispirited, suddenly panic and restless. They had to spare part of their energy to fight against Queen Natasha's 100,000 Shu army. When they began to choose to divide their troops, the situation had actually changed abruptly. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, then clenched his fists, ready to fight straight away. Fight! 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 Fang Fan gave an order, and the battle suddenly rose. Reinforcements have arrived. Brothers from the Chu kingdom and the Tian kingdom. Follow me to fight my way out. Fight out! Fight out! Fang Fan gradually began to arouse the morale of the army, the lineup suddenly took off. The forces of the people gathered together, and the situation changed extremely. Under Fang Fan's overall leadership, a new round of battle has begun. A new round of fighting is also in full swing. Seeing the army of the Alliance of Light and the Kingdom of Pure Sun retreating steadily, He Tian, the god son of the Dark Temple in the distance, suddenly began to curse. Tai Shuqian. You trash. Didn't you say it's safe? Can you definitely stop Fang Fan here? What's the situation now? Tell me. What happened? Asshole. All assholes. Letting you lead the practitioners of the light camp to join the battle has been postponed. Is it okay now? Satisfied? Have you seen it clearly? Fang Fan is going to escape. Once you let them escape into the city, do you think you can still enter the city? We couldn't do it in our heyday, and now we have suffered heavy losses. Tai Shuqian. You fool. You wasted your best chance to kill. Haishan, the god son of the Dark Temple, was yelling and cursing, and the expression on his face became more and more vicious. He put all the responsibilities on Tai Shuqian, the god son of the Alliance of Light Temple, so that he can feel more at ease in his heart, otherwise the feeling of depression in his heart should not be too strong. Shut up. Shut up. The complexion of Tai Shuqian, son of God of the Alliance of Light Temple, changed for a while, and he was extremely furious at the moment. Originally, he could reap the benefits of being a fisherman and become the biggest winner, but now, there have been many changes. If this kind of change continues, what will happen next is still unknown. Thinking of this, Tai Shuqian, the son of the god of the Alliance of Light, became even more angry. If you were really good, you wouldn't have been beaten by Fang Fan and begged for mercy before, and you would have asked me for help. You trash, do you have the nerve to come and tell me? My cultivators in the Temple of the Light Alliance did not collapse on their own. You are not qualified to teach me a lesson. Tai Shuqian, the god son of the Temple of the Alliance of Light, was speaking with a gesture of gnashing his teeth vividly. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1889. The infighting has begun again. In fact, it is not normal for this situation to occur. From a comprehensive perspective, an alliance like theirs is inherently beneficial, and even, will plot against each other. There is an extremely strong selfishness between each other, the kind that they want to do directly every minute. Looking at the whole battle situation, Fang Fan has more and more smiles on his face. This feeling is extraordinarily comfortable. The enemy's internal turmoil is, to some extent, giving him a chance, to give him a chance to break the situation. As long as the current situation can be stabilized, it is easy to do something. Kill. Fang Fan charged straight ahead, and tens of thousands of troops from Chu Kingdom and Tian Kingdom gathered behind him. The top 10 legions under his command are the core output force, directly breaking the game. The Yellow Turban typing Warlock Legion led by Guan Hai is also frantically using negative skills such as Corrosion and Curse. Among the enemy army, countless cultivators were recruited, and then they all fell silent to the end. Death is like the wind. The curse of death is being issued, and the breath of obliterating everything is making people feel frightened and disturbed from the bottom of their hearts. Run, run away. Boss Fang Fan is too strong, you are worthy of being a believer in the Temple of the Light Alliance. Everyone is a member of the Temple of the Alliance of Light, so why fight each other? I don't accept it, I don't accept it. Hey, it's not the order of the Grand Uncle Kian. To put it bluntly, he still wants to take the fruit of God. What is there to take away from the fruit of God? Dongguo saints have told us before that as long as any practitioner from our light camp succeeds in capturing the fruit of God, we will be responsible for protecting that person, the cultivators of the light camp. Now, why don't you follow the orders of Lord Dongguo Saint at all now? It touches people's hearts, who can think so much about such things. Everyone should keep a low profile, just keep a low profile. Phew, panicked. Damn it, even if we have taken the fruit of God, does it have anything to do with us? The fruit of God will still be taken away by Taisha Kian. What have we got? Still killing each other here. I feel so stupid. It's not just a little bit of stupidity, everyone should withdraw as soon as possible, don't be fooled. Not much to say, let's slip away. I'm willing to lose at the hands of Big Boss Fang Fan. SHH, Grand Uncle Kian is still overseeing the battle, so we're leaving now, isn't it good? What's wrong? Will he share the fruit of God with you after he took it? He pulled us into a civil war, and you want to fight too? The light camp doesn't fight the light camp. If you don't even have the self-awareness, you still play a hammer. That's the reason, withdraw as soon as you need to withdraw, the whole army retreat. Practitioners in the Alliance of Light Camp actually fought with resentment from the very beginning. It would be fine if they could take down the capital of the Chu Kingdom in one go, and they got involved in it in a daze, but now they encountered a lot of resistance, and they even had to draw their swords against Fang Fan, the acting red-clothed Archbishop of the Temple of the Light Alliance. To be honest, it doesn't make any sense at all. Without faith, that is salted fish, a fighter in salted fish. Now each of them holds great resentment and doesn't want to fight at all. As for the Grand Uncle Kian of the Temple of the Light Alliance, it is absolutely impossible to overwhelm others with power. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1890. Fang Fan led the whole army, rushed out of the encirclement in one go, and successfully reunited with Queen Natasha. This wave not only did not damage anything, but caused heavy losses to the enemy. This wave is a classic. Don't you know it's dangerous here? Why do you want to come here? Do you know that once the situation changes, the capital of the Chiyu Kingdom will definitely be captured, and you will also die on the battlefield? Aren't you afraid? Fang Fan put his arms around Natasha, his eyes shone with sharp rays of light, all kinds of thoughts were churning in his mind, and his feelings suddenly became extremely profound. It has to be said that these behaviors of Queen Natasha brought Fang Fan extremely strong inner feelings. I'm afraid, but I'm more afraid of losing you, my highness. If something happens to you, the Chiyu kingdom will definitely not survive. I don't want to live alone. You are my life. Queen Natasha just stared at Fang Fan, and then said earnestly with her eyes. While speaking, her expression remained the same, showing extreme sincerity. Now Fang Fan feels more and more that Queen Natasha's morality is extremely deep. There is a sultry magic every minute, this feeling is so real. From now on, don't be so impulsive. If you want to be my woman, you must first learn to be obedient. Fang Fan hugged Queen Natasha's slender waist, then snorted coldly to turn the situation back. You can't be seized by a woman, wouldn't it be too embarrassing? Fang Fan led the troops of Tian Kingdom and Chu Kingdom back to the capital of Chuqing, and the form was basically fixed. Genji Shenzong and Chiu Kingdom fell into civil strife, and at the moment they attacked each other and suffered heavy losses, it was impossible to focus on King Chu for the time being. As for the practitioners of the Dark Temple, this wave also suffered heavy losses, and the morale of the army was slackened. The army and cultivators of the Pure Sun Kingdom and the Temple of the Light Alliance have relatively complete organizational systems, but relying on their alliance, naturally they cannot pose any threat to the current Fang Fan and Chiyu kingdoms. At this moment, there are not only 200,000 Shu Kingdom troops in the capital of Chuqing, but also hundreds of thousands of Tian Kingdom troops stationed in the capital. The power has not decreased but increased. Under the ebb and flow, it has already been able to occupy a great opportunity. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes secretly, and the smiles on his face became more and more. If this situation continues, it will be no problem for the fruit of God to mature after 3 days. As long as the fruit of God matures, he can be regarded as fulfilling his wish. This wave is complete. At that time, whether it is to evacuate with the army of the Chiyu kingdom, or to find another way, let him be free. It's just that at this moment, we still need to pay full attention to the wave, and we can't slack off in the slightest, and we can't give the enemy an opportunity to take advantage of it. Prince Fang Fan, thank you for saving my Tian kingdom from the fire and water this time, and for saving me, a useless person. From now on, my Tian kingdom will only follow the orders of Prince Fang Fan. No second thoughts. As King Cassius of the Tian kingdom spoke, the expression on his face suddenly became extremely solemn. It is a very real character to know kindness and repay it. Visiting from every angle, it also looks very real. From the perspective of this King Cassius, he can see that in the current situation, the only way to eat meat is to hold Shang Fan's thigh. Otherwise, their Tian kingdom may continue the humble situation before.